Well, I'm Ong. You can call me Ong or Ketsiong or KS. That's what normally my friends and people outside call me lah. I'm now working with a commercial bank in KL, dealing in foreign exchange. One thing interesting about me is I like aviation a lot. Since I was young, my toys are always just planes, planes, planes. And until today, I still like planes. And at the back over here, these are some of my model planes collection. And the other thing about why I like aviation, actually I love flying. It is just spotting planes, taking videos, just the interest of identifying planes activities, photographing them, logging them in their notes, or videography. Or some people will say plane spotting is just sitting there and enjoy seeing the plane. But some of the hardcore ones, they will actually spot from sun up to sundown. And of course, in today's technologies, some will go even all the way up to the night doing night spotting. Basically, anybody can be a plane spotter. Well, I have been spotting since I was very young. I think 4 or 5 years old. I didn't know it was called spotting there. I was just interested to go to the airport with my father, or rather I will beg him to bring me to the airport almost every weekend to see planes. But it was actually during a big breakthrough in my college days. If I have the free time, I'll just take the bus to the airport after college. Then at one point, it was during one of our college trips where my college mates went to Langkawi, and I took the bold step and just asked the cabin crew whether I can visit the cockpit or not. And the flight crew allowed, and I was inside there. Then moving on, every time that I have opportunity to fly before 2001, I will ask for access to the cockpit if they allow. Pre-social media, there was no Facebook, Instagram, whatnot. There were forums online, especially on Malaysia, in Malaysia's context. There was this forum called Aero Malaysia, which is defunct, and there's another one called Malaysian Wings, where there are a lot of activities done, and there are a lot of actually people who have the same interest signing into these forums, and they exchange pictures, ideas, discussions about this plane spotting hobby. So from there, I got to know that I'm not alone. So inside this community, sharing their pictures, sharing their discussions, and sharing their interest and passion. Oh, definitely. For a person like me, I spot almost every weekend at FlyKLIA or in Subang, whenever there is no specific planes that I want to catch, or we have guests coming from overseas to come and join. I will also bring them around. But now the pandemic has affected us that we can't cross state, cross district, or even go overseas. In other words, spotter like myself who's staying out of Sepang or far away from KLA, my wings are clipped. But having said that, what we're doing now is plane models spotting. Let's say those planes at the back over here. So what I'll do is when I'm free, I just take some boxes out and photograph planes, build a simple diorama of an airport, and just take pictures of it, and that's it, and post in social media, and that's it. That's a good question. The main experience I had that was actually going into this hobby is, my dad bring me to airport. Until today, it's still imprinted into my mind. You were being interviewed, first time doing a newspaper interview. That was an experience. It was with the Star newspaper, Star Metro, I think early 2000s, whereby, like I'm doing today, this plane spotting was not a common thing. So in the Star papers actually interview some of our spotters and what we are doing, because this is an unheard of hobby. I wrote to Malaysia airports and as well as the airlines, telling them I am representing the Planespotter community and we want to do a coverage of this particular aircraft type of the airline, because they only left one in the world and they'll be retiring soon. So yeah, the experience of writing to the airline, writing to the airports when they still don't recognize our hobby yet, it was a daunting task. I remember it took me like 3 months kind of thing to get everything approved. I think that's when the engagement start with the airport. I would say the last major experience I had was the airports recognizing the Planespotter community was opening of the Angel Spotter. No longer we have to camp, put our ladders beside the road and runway, climb there up to photograph a better picture of the aircraft. So the airport has kindly recognized us and built the Angel Spotter, not specifically for Planespotter, but the entire community where Planespotters are very beneficial from them. And because of this, we Malaysian spotters has been envied among other spotters in other countries, the likes of Indonesia, the likes of Thailand, the likes of Singapore. During Malaysia, the Angel Spotter event opening, the top brass of the Malaysia airports are there. The Air Force General was there and Tony was there. So it's a big thing for the Planespotter community. Okay, for my preference, mainstream will be KLIA because it's an international airport . But any airport is actually a good airport to spot, when there's a specific traffic that's going there. Let's say Penang has got unique traffics there, cargo that KLIA doesn't have. Or maybe, let's say, Kuantan, for example, it's a very quiet airport, but suddenly, there's a big aircraft coming into Kuantan, that becomes the best airport to spot. Then there is also Langkawi Airport, whenever there's a Lima exhibition over there. That's the best place to be whenever there's Lima . And in terms of international, my friend will always tell me this, Heathrow. The specific spot is Marcel Avenue. It's the main place to go. Basically, when you are Heathrow, and Heathrow being an international hub, you get all the various airlines and operators into Heathrow itself. So that is one of the places to be, Heathrow. And another place would be spotting in Japan. In fact, Japanese airports are very friendly towards the spotters. Over here, all our airports are all fenced up, whereby in Japan, certain areas, they actually cut a small hole out for the spotters to put their lens through the hole so that, the fence won't obstruct the image. Well, you slowly learn up the hobby. You have to have a passion in everything you do. So when you have the passion, you start understanding the needs to prepare how to spot. I would say there are a lot of these plane spotting communities in Facebook. I don't know how to give a shout out because there's so many of them out in Facebook. The whole entire list will come down when you're up in the Facebook searches. We also would thank social media for exposing the plane spotting hobby, and it has become mainstream. So much so that I know of a friend who is now doing a living out of just plane spotting. His name is Sam Chui. He has been recognized throughout the world, internationally among plane spotters community. You mentioned, Sam Chui, everybody knows. He is the pinnacle of every plane spotter. So he was in the finance industry last time, and now he has quit the job and just do things related to aviation media kind of thing. You travel vlogs. You do special event vlogs. Even you have international aviation symposium or exhibition. He'll be there doing kind of like updates to the aviation industry. So yeah, he is very famous right now. Everybody wants to be like him. I would like to thank FlyKLIA, Malaysia Airports, whether it's the social media team or the airport operations team, or the airport security, as well as the airlines for recognizing this hobby today, as well as helping us to promote this hobby. I also want to thank our fellow spotters, Planespotter community out there who have came a long way to encourage the spirit of Planespotting and inspire the new generations to engage this hobby. And I hope you can be a Planespotter too one day.